Bro, I'm so busy. I haven't done some videos or streams or that's what I'm starting doing streams on here. I'll do videos. I always have to edit and that takes hours and hours. I think there'll be like a Thanksgiving stream, hopefully, or something like that. I don't know. We're gonna do a stream tomorrow now.
Somebody call for the queen.
Oh yeah.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Actually, I'll be upset about
2nd down, Mariota toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, is intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I changed my name to Mr. Kid or whatever because I didn't like the name of Channing. Hope you guys like it. I do. Mr. Third.
On play action, Mariota being chased out left. And that is incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep to return is Cyrus Jones.
What's that? 13.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10, right at the 30.
They're actually going down with
Flacco from the gun. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Run it. I'm doing that right now.
A first carry now for Alex Collins. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Yeah, I ain't going. I'm not really serious with this, but while he's trying to
3rd down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
what I do.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's first and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Operating out of the gun. Flacco. That is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Nick Boyle, 29 yards. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Football turned back over to Tennessee's offense. And if you look at this season on the whole, they really, I guess, haven't gotten the kind of production they'd hoped for from Mariota, Derrick Henry. I know you've been a big Mariota guy, Charles. How do you assess how he's played through the first half plus of the season?
Not up to his potential. Not up to what you would expect from the number 2 pick in his draft class. He and Jameis Winston tied at the hip that way. Winston, the number 1 guy. They don't ring the bell often enough throwing the football. And he's been playing in a run-based system for a while now. You would think their ability to throw the ball would be much improved. Has not been that way. Now, they did lose their leading receiver over the last 4 years, Delaney Walker, in week 1. He was their tight end. But they just had trouble scoring. Only topped 21 points once in the first half of the season.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On third down, Mariota. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. As Baltimore's offense makes their way back on the field, Charles, wanted to ask you about their running game. I mean, really, the offense has had some issues, but the running game needs to be picked up, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Alex Collins, who had such a big year last season, Buck Allen, both of them trying, but the running game does need to get kick-started. So it's a low-risk trade for Ty Montgomery getting him from Green Bay. I think where they get him for a 27th round pick. But he has experience running the football with Green Bay. And remember, he came into the league as a receiver, so he can help open up the offense in a number of ways, not to mention his kick return ability as well.
On second down, Collins. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they've got it here with a first down. This is Collins on the handoff, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Operating out play action. Flacco. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, Week 12 in the NFL, also Thanksgiving week, and 3 games on Thanksgiving. We know about Chicago and Detroit, Washington, and Dallas. Don't forget about the third and final game on Turkey Day, just as the early Black Friday shoppers are lining up. Atlanta and New Orleans.
And those Black Friday shoppers will be throwing serious elbows about the time this bad boy kicks off. Now, think about this weekend, or think about this Thanksgiving. It has the feel of a college rivalry weekend, doesn't it? Every game, intense rivalry. Chicago, Detroit, Washington, Dallas, and now this one, Atlanta, New Orleans. These two don't like each other very much. A huge game in the NFC South. Can't wait to watch this one. Matt Ryan, Drew Brees match each other throw for throw.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now a second down throw for Mariota. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Third and short yardage. Mariota forced out to his left. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mariota now to throw on first down. Flushed out right. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. To go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Titans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So what a let-off there. You figure that was an easy 3 points. Instead, it turns into nothing.
And from that close of range, if you start it left, your goose is cooked. And this thing, well, it never had a chance to straighten itself out.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Allen here on the screen. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Flacco. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. Flacco now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They go pass again with Flacco. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this one is incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Now Jones. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They go again with Collins. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Gun.
3rd down, Flacco from the gun. Underneath to Allen. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Play action, Flacco. There he goes inside the 30. And he comes back with one complete. First catch of the game for Crabtree. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Flacco to throw again on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Flacco and the Ravens now, after the sack, need something good here on third and long. From the gun, Flacco. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune. So
after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Mariota on first down. Smith catches left side. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Rolling to his right. He dumps it off for Henry. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Now Lewis. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Mariota on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. The linebacker C.J. Mosley there in coverage.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now. That's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
1st and 10 here for Flacco. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
I'm right.
Now Flacco. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. Flacco finding Crabtree for a big one. And even 40 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And it's caught. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Boyle, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
Yellow, yellow.
Setting up to throw, Flacco. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Throwing is Mariota. Buying time to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Wide open receiver complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Joe Flacco. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll start things on first down with Dion Lewis. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Mariota now on 2nd down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. C.J. Mosley coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon. Mariota
will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. From the gun, Mariota. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. How about this. Flacco setting to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. It was Kenny Vaccaro there to get a hand on that one.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Collins. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Now another timeout here called by the Titans, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Sam Cook now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Here's Jackson. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Titan football. Out come the Titans now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get it."
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Mariota now. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
One last shot now for Mariota. And he finds his target. It's sharp. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.
Hello? I don't know why you can't hear my Madden game.
They got a bag, made them a bite, and at least in no beamer, I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the is mad. Man in them bangers, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around, just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a, tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim, in my denim, she was trying to for it out, she don't give a she was in her bag, Fendi and some lane, asked for a burger, watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. Where we gon' land? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby.
Alright, hold up. Hello? 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 Hello?
They say the man got me on. Can you hear me? Now?
Hello?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? God in my system, been the one I'm kissing. Why might extend? Hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Mama, dirty the roads that I've traveled, but I'm on my way. Mama, trust all the steps on my journey, 'cause I'll be okay.
Can anyone
I
hear
know
me?
it's gotta hurt when you know you could have had a president. Guess that I would rather be the man. Maybe one day I'll go back to school. Think I'm probably kidding, but I still mean it. They've been trying to school me, but I've been a genius. Daddy looking more like home since I made moves. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
This is Madden 19.
Coach. Thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Throwing here on first down, Flacco. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of their defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up. Here's Cincinnati defensively right now in the NFL, ranked number 12 against the pass. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
You know, when actors get ready for a scene, they often ask the question, what's my motivation? Or what's the motivation of this group? What's their mind?
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big-time third down play for the Ravens. And even 40 yards. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed they went right into the game plan, attack them early, see if they're going to play any better. And if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. To throw here, Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, I mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit. It screens open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the high
That's
mark.
the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. The return man, Chris Moore. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Baltimore Ravens coming back out here on offense. Charles, a franchise that hasn't made the playoffs since 2014, and the way the middle part of this year has gone, it doesn't look like 2018 is going to stem that tide, does it?
It doesn't appear that way. They still have the chance if they can get hot.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing it.
And he's going to go down again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Flacco and the Ravens now, after the sack, need something good here on third and long. Flacco. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Cincinnati Bengals offense taking the field again, and if you look at what they've done this year on the whole, would you say that they are a contender or a pretender as we hit the quote-unquote home stretch of the regular season?
Their schedule says pretender, but when you watch them play at their best, you think contender. They'd have to beat someone of that ilk. You know, in their division, can they beat Pittsburgh the next time they play them to announce to the world that, hey, they mean business? They beat Baltimore early in the season when we thought Baltimore truly was a contender. So the potential is there, but they have to show it because right now, they haven't beat the most significant teams that they've played.
And I'm looking down the road, the last 4 games, 3 of them are on the road, weeks 14, 16, and 17, including a trip to the aforementioned Pittsburgh. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. You know, Charles, it is hard to believe that we are sitting on the doorstep of Thanksgiving week. Already that time of year, but it always gives us good football. One of the games on Thanksgiving, Chicago and Detroit, that'll get the party started at 12:30 Eastern.
One of the traditional games, Detroit hosting, Dallas hosting, but in this case, we will stay in the Motor City. And this is the longest-running annual series in the NFL. A lot of people think about Detroit and Green Bay or Chicago and Green Bay. It's Detroit and Chicago. They've met at least once a year since 1930, 178 times total. And they just met 2 weeks ago in Chicago and going to do it again.
Drops it underneath for Collins. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A red zone first down for Flacco. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Returning it, John Ross. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Well, in November. But they would be a wild card team. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. 14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on first down. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Flacco here on second down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Barring a flag, final play here for Flacco and company. And it is incomplete. So we have reached halftime here. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, Charles, a year ago at this time, I asked you what your Thanksgiving plans were. So I got a funny answer out of you last year. I'm going to ask you again, what are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
Trying to figure out exactly what time I kick everyone out of my house so I can just hunker down and watch what's left of the football schedule. That's what I want to know.
Oh, come on. Your mother-in-law is coming in. It's going to be a great time at the Davis household.
Well, she can stay as long as she wants. She's family. But everyone else,
Get out.
They have an expiration time.
What about the dogs?
50-50. Depends on how they act that day.
Well, when things go awry, you can just get in the car and head out for the airport because you got a game that weekend.
I certainly do. I will be headed to Charlotte, Seattle at Carolina that Sunday. Looking forward to that one. But even while I'm jesting a little bit about people being at the house, some of you I'm not jesting about. Hurry up and get out.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, there have been stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A very solid gain of 27.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get...
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Carrying one deep for Crabtree. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Crabtree, the intended receiver. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Terrell Suggs in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Flacco. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And the Bengals have recovered it.
partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Underneath, this is Bernard. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Giovanni Bernard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A good pickup there at 22.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Hey, with that incompletion, time to have some fun. I want to know, at the Davis household, who carves the turkey?
Well, certainly not me.
Well, I knew that.
I can tell you that.
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Geno Atkins in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of it.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Incomplete on first down. Now Flacco on 2nd. Escaping the pressure right. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Flacco from the gun. He uncorks it for Snead. He's got it at the 15. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big-time 3rd down play for the Ravens. 48 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he whips that one incomplete there. Chris Moore was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line. And they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Here's Flacco. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation. Yeah. Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
They do tack on the extra point as well, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a 1-possession game. This one not fully over yet. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a 2nd and just 3.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
So So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Dalton down to a knee, and that'll be all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Bengals, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race.
Want to see what happens next? Choose yes to continue playing this team season.
I think it's my fault. For real. Hey, I got that chicken to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No. She is white. Limited Louis. So light.